So, injustice, anger, shock, disbelief, those are just the sum of emotions that the victims' families are feeling right now as they're speaking out after this Nicholas Cruz verdict. Some are questioning why they even have a death penalty when a case like this is fit for that. And I now want to welcome in crime analyst Lisa Lockwood, who joins us. Lisa, it's been very difficult watching this as it feels like this is their version of a final victim impact statement. What goes through your mind when you watch this? And do they have a point when it comes to what kind of a message this decision may send to America?
These victims, and they don't want to be known as survivors because they said they're going to go through the rest of their lives suffering the loss of their family members, children, spouses, all of it. And they wanted somebody to pay for it. They wanted to make sure that Nicholas Cruz paid for it with his life, an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. And they don't feel justice was done. The thing that I think is great is they felt that the prosecution put on an incredible case for them in their representation, but they're very, very disappointed, mad, angry, as we even heard a woman curse earlier, because they felt that they did not get the jury to commit to the death penalty when they knew the aggravating circumstances still held up. And those were cold, calculated, premeditated, heinous. The list goes on. All of them were in agreement on that. And it only takes one person to not be in agreement on the mitigating circumstances, and that being his mental health issues, fetal alcohol syndrome. So, in a way, they believe that they were duped by whoever was the standout who stood out to say, I do not approve of it. And it could have been more. We don't know at this point who decided against it. But during voir dire, they wanted to make sure that everybody was on board with death penalty. So, of course, they're disappointed right now.
Well, those are the sentiments of one of the victims' families. Lisa, what do you think of that? I mean, for the defense to say that, that almost seems a little bit of a threat, and that's the last word before they decide what this decision is going to be, no?
The first thing that comes to my mind is it was low. It was a dirty pool type of approach to have the guilt, put the guilt on the jurors. Because frankly, if anybody was wavering, if they had their religion and thought that, I don't believe in an eye for an eye, if they had that small inkling to go the other way and say, he's better off in jail. He's going to suffer in jail. He'll live a long life because he's young, and at least he's going to be there. But what this does is it causes the family to suffer over and over and over again because of potential appeals to, the list could go on that these families will have to show up to court. Now they are going to probably become, advocates even more for the criminal justice system to talk about how they were wronged, to be in the spotlight, to further the cause because they feel as if the rug was pulled up out completely from under them because they had an expectation the jurors would hold up to their commitment to go forward with the death penalty if all of the aggravating factors were in alignment, and they certainly were. So they feel so betrayed right now.
And I think that people are most shocked about is how they felt the state did such a good job highlighting those aggravating factors and how any mitigating factors could outweigh it there. So Lisa, you just heard from the defense there after this verdict. What stood out to you?
He was very, very concise about the process, showing respect to the jurors, hoping that people can heal going forward. And that's all a great message. But right now, we have all of these victims who are completely incensed. So those words are going to fall on deaf ears right now. But trying to pay a type of homage to the jurors, I think was important. And again, saying that there's no reason for celebration, I think was a classy thing to do in light of the decision not being forwarded for all of these victims to have the death penalty.